Let me make sure. We're live. Hi, everybody.
Are we live?
We are officially live. It says live on my notification bell. So no, we're live. We have so
Okay, we are
far,
live.
we so far have 140 people within 2 seconds. So
Yeah, so we are live, guys. Thank you for joining us. We have lots and lots and lots and lots to get,
Lots.
into today. Carlos is actually the guest, okay? Usually Carlos is the one that gets to ask all the juicy questions, but today you are in the hot seat, sir.
okay, so apparently there was fireworks that just came up. So this is indicative of what's about to go down.
Wait,
So
they just came up by themselves?
yeah, like Ashley, I know people think I create things out of thin air, but such is life.
Such as like so, and usually winter, I'm downstairs in the basement because that's my favorite part of the house. I like to hang
Yes.
out down there. But I decided to be in my cloffice.
Yeah,
Yes, I
you
decided.
gotta go with the listen because me and Ashley love a theme.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, y'all do.
so winter, you get a C because Ashley, being the A student who likes extra
Listen,
credit.
I'm fortunate to be here on time, Saints.
So Ashley,
Fortunate.
your shoes look gorgeous.
Yes. Yeah. All my
Okay.
shoes. Yeah.
What?
It's my favorite part of the house. Well, my second favorite part of the house.
Okay, before we get started, I have to say you two look ravishing beautiful tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all do. Y'all are beautiful women. And can I just say this? I am obsessed with Love and Marriage DC. I said it before. I think it's a comedy show. It reminds me of Sunday night, Black Night on the UPN, where you have Martin living single and New York Undercover.
Yes. We a little bit all of that together, okay? It's great. So saying that, there have been people who said our show is boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do
You
you
want to talk about that?
Carlos?
Sure.
Yeah. A lot of people said that season one, right? I think season one, a lot of people thought, you know what? Let's have a real conversation.
Mhm.
There were a lot of comments on social media that they thought Love and Marriage DC was boring, right? Season one, they thought that. And I was surprised by that notion. I think what happened is this. It's very difficult to be the first spinoff of a very successful franchise. And obviously with Huntsville, as we all know now today, it is explosive with like cheating allegations and infidelity and outside children and all this other stuff, right? So when that is the crux of the original franchise, people inherently thought, well, a spinoff has to have that same level of issues. And the one thing that I enjoyed about DC that people are, no one's calling it boring now, baby. Let's be clear. Because you all, in my opinion, started to be like, you know what? We are going to be us. I felt that season one because Monique was the face of the show. Let's have a real conversation. Yeah. Monique was the face of the show. Obviously, I love Monique Samuels. I built this franchise around her, and I think there was a lot of attention towards that. So a lot of people just wasn't capable of trying to get to know the other couples because she came from this big ensemble, and it was just all of that came into it. But I definitely believe that people are now seeing what I always saw in this show, and that you guys, thank you, Donna Jones, you guys are a stellar ass cast, and you guys are the best addition to being second installation of the franchise. And I as the creator of the show could not be more proud of all of you.
I agree. But before we get into the show, let's rewind. The number one question has been, why the hell did it take so long for the second half to come on?
Yes, good question. So I know people think the network is called Carlos King. It isn't. It's not. Um, I don't work for the network, right? So my job as a production company is to provide the show. I'm not responsible for scheduling. When it came to Love and Marriage DC, what was so interesting is a lot of people thought there was a scandal that happened. A lot of people were saying Carlos is mad at Ashley.
I saw that a lot. It was blamed all on me. It was all blamed on me. I mean, guys, I know.
I never heard that at all. I didn't.
I saw that. It was all blamed on me. I know that, I make the casting decisions and I make the show, but honey, I don't make one.
You know what? I never heard that. I never heard that at all.
I did.
Oh yeah, no. A lot of people blamed Ashley. They thought the show was canceled. When it comes to me, people want to throw me shade and throw y'all shade too. It's what happens when you're in the public eye. So a lot of people say your shows are struggling, and I'm like, little do y'all know it isn't. But the reason why it took so long is and I'm being honest here, right? So you're getting this exclusively.
Okay.
It all had to do with scheduling. And what people don't know about networks, and I think a lot of people are understanding now, there were a lot of cuts that were happening courtesy of the industry in Hollywood. And it impacted everybody. It affected everybody. There wasn't a lot of slots available for programming, which is why, because again, I don't lie, the proof is in the pudding. If you look at the network now, DC comes on, there's not anything to follow it, right? St. Huntsville was on, nothing followed it. Bell Collector was by itself, then Ready to Love came back. So if you think about it, there's not a lot of shows on the network. So when it came to DC, because I think we had like 25, 26 episodes, it's the network's decision to split them in half and to air one this way and the next the other way. And that honestly is the only reason. It had nothing to do with the ratings. The ratings are fine. It had nothing to do with Ashley Silva. It had nothing to do with any scandal. It had everything to do with scheduling. And that's
I saw, I was suing you guys.
I didn't see that one.
I did. I thought I was suing you. I was like, wait, not. I know y'all want to call me the Nene Leakes of the Love and Marriage DCs, but I am not suing anybody. Okay.
Honestly, and I heard that there was, criminal activity involved, all sorts of things.
I heard I hit somebody. I was like, where was I when I hit somebody?
I was like, yo, we done turned criminal. When did that happen?
Now look, I know you have allegedly fought bitches bigger than Clifton, but I didn't
listen.
Allegedly. Like you said, allegedly. That might have just been a little jokey joke.
So,
I hope I answered y'all question again. I don't, and for the record, I don't comment a lot on people's questions about stuff that I think is so ridiculous. So when people were making all those accusations, I always felt like I know the show's coming back. And the one thing that we did not do that I want to apologize publicly to the cast for, we did not inform them of what was going on because I was still figuring out what was going on at the same time. But hindsight is 2020. And the one mistake that I made, because I'm not perfect, as I was trying to get the answers about the next air date, my team and I should have definitely informed you guys, because it did feel like, even for you guys, right? Because y'all are new to this. And y'all like, wait, what's going on? Because we see other shows come out every year or 6 months. What's happening? So I apologize on behalf of, I'll just say me, it's my company.
Yeah.
I apologize on behalf of myself and to you guys for not keeping y'all updated and feeling like you guys were the stepchildren of Huntsville.
Yeah. Well, we felt
Thank you for that.
like the redheaded stepkids. We've definitely felt that way. I think all of us have felt that way. So what season is this? Is this season 2 or season 3? Because we are confused.
You know what's so funny? I am confusion. So the funny thing, again, what the world is witnessing now, courtesy of social media, is the fact that they now have an awareness of how networks operate. And some networks, not all, they order a lot of episodes and split them up into two, and they add an alphabet with the season. It could be like season 1A, season 2B, all that stuff. I know we shot this show in one like 5-month season. Yeah. I consider it season 2B, but I'm reading elsewhere it's season 3. But guess what? All I can say to you is it's the best motherfucking season of DC. I can tell you that.
You're welcome.
And that ain't a ledge.
So I have a question for you, Carlos.
Yes, Winter.
If I may ask. So you said
Lord.
that you feel like this cast is dynamic. We bring ourselves. Do you honestly feel like everyone on our cast brings their true, authentic self to this cast? Or do you feel like there are those of us that are holding back and not being as authentic as we could be?
Yes, that's a very good question. I think everybody has something that is happening in their lives that they may not be the most forthcoming in, right? I think, let's be real, I think each person has something that for themselves is their it's sort of like, I don't want to go there with that, right? I think everybody has that. And the one thing I love about my relationship with the cast is if there's something happening that may not involve just you guys. So for example, I'm not gonna say much, but when we cast the Silvas, I was already in love and I saw Ashley's tape, honey. But they have some family stuff that I was like, this is so interesting. Mm-hmm. And then Ashley and Quick said, look, we signed on to do this, not them. You ain't getting that. And I respected it. There was never an issue about it.
Yeah.
So that's an example of, I think everybody on the show has something that is off limits to them. And if it's, and this is honest to God true, if I think it's something that may involve another party who did not sign on to do the show, or if I feel like this is something that they're struggling with, we as the producers, we try to get it out of you. If it's something that is so apparent, then that's an issue. So I'll give you another example. We obviously follow the reality of Joy and Clifton. Hey, Clifton. Being married. We, the production, had no idea that they were married. We followed the reality of that revelation. We didn't know. And we did ask the questions, and not to spoil the reunion, we get into it. So those are examples of things like when we find things out, we go there. But one thing that I pride myself on not doing is I'm not going to force anybody to give something up. If they really are like, Carlos, I give all this to you. This is one thing that's off limits to me. And I respect the boundary.
Well, I'm going to interject. So the situation you're talking about with my family had to do with like other adult members of my family.
Yes.
I'm not wanting to talk about them.
Correct.
When it comes to Quick and Ashley, who are the cast members of the show, we don't do that. We don't hide this, and that. Even today on the episode, me going to this doctor's appointment, that's a lot. It's a little invasive to have cameras in your face while you're at a doctor's appointment. But if this is really what I'm dealing with and struggling with at the time, I'm allowing you guys to be open and film that. I think that is a little different from cast being able to divert from honest truth about if we're married, where we live, things that are happening with other cast members at the time, especially if we're filming. I feel like that is unfair to the cast that does, sit in their honesty and in their truths.
I agree with you. No, I agree with you. I definitely think, and that's the reason why, again, I'm not going to spoil the reunion, but that's the reason why it was addressed at the reunion. I was very honest about my feelings towards it, right? I was very honest about my feelings towards you bringing it up on the show. So I do agree with you. One thing I always tell people is this. It's one thing if you think like I'm keeping it to myself, but the audience isn't stupid. And when the audience feels like you're keeping things from them, you lost their trust. And that's just something that I tell all my stars, that's going to be something you have to deal with. You know, like I'm trying to help you. And I know that sometimes it's like y'all just want the mess and the drama, but it's like I really am trying to tell people, if the audience feels like you're keeping something away from them, they're going to turn on you. And it's going to be hard to get their trust back.
Did you want to follow up with your question, Windsor?
So I don't know if you can answer this or not. So we're talking about the throuple tonight in tonight's episode. There's a
Hi, Carmen. I love Carmen, by the way.
Say it again.
I love me some Carmen.
So Carlos, thank you for saying that publicly. I have literally stated this, and people have thought that I was defending Carmen. And I said, this is not a matter of defense. Carmen is a part of this show, whether anybody likes it or not. Carlos actually likes Carmen. So she's not.
Look, Winter, who told you that, sis? How you know?
Because I know what I know. And I know that you like Carmen. It's a very obvious that Carmen is not.
Wait, time out. Ashley, is it obvious I like Carmen?
I mean, it is. But you know why you have your things like that. Because people ask us, like, why are certain people in the show? Why are certain people not on the show? Like Alicia. Why was Alicia there in the beginning? Carlos, you would say to me all the time, like, I heard we need Alicia film, or we heard Alicia film.
I love
that's why Alicia
baby.
There a lot.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's why Alicia is there a lot. So
I love
the
Alicia.
same thing with Carmen. I mean, I think that, we do have these extended personalities that are in this group in some way, who know things that are going on in the group that some people are particularly not bringing to the camera. So now they get to bring in, what they know or what they feel. And I think Carmen is a great addition too. I think Carmen held back a lot. I know Carmen held back a lot.
Honey, she made up for it at the reunion. Carmen was Derek Jeter. She had a baseball bat and she was like knocking home runs, child. And I was sitting on the couch in my gray suit like this.
I think we all were when Carmen came out. I was like,
no, Ashley, I think me and you did this to each other.
Right.
I love Carmen, by the way.
What is happening? So another question before we get into the episode tonight.
Yeah.
Where are the Duncans? We hear that a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've seen Black, but the other half.
Yes. Great question. Okay. I also love Sherella and Black. I also had them on my podcast when I did the first half of the season, where child husband must be going crazy because my phone's going off the hook. Okay. Sorry, Huntsville. DC gets all my attention tonight. Okay. So I love Sherella and Black. The beauty of DC that I don't think you guys are getting credit for is the fact that this show and this cast are all integrated with history of friendships. When we got the green light for season 2, ask Ashley, Winter, Irena, all of them. I literally said, who y'all got? Mm-hmm. Because I know some mistakes that, again, I'll take blame for everything. It's fine. I knew some mistakes that I made season 1 in terms of all of you guys weren't the best of friends. Some of y'all met weeks before, months before, or were similar to like the Atlanta social scene. Y'all knew each other socially, but y'all weren't like hanging out like that.
Right.
And the one thing that I wanted to do for season, hold on a second. No. Okay, settled. One of the things that I wanted to do season 2 of DC was bring on real friends. When you brought Alicia and Sharella, what I loved about Sharella was she looks like nobody I've seen on reality television. And you guys know I like to represent all women. Look at Bell Collector. You know what I'm saying? Bell Collector's all different colors, shapes, sizes, all that. I love that Sharella did not look like anybody on TV. My favorite scene ever of Sharella is when she was at Winter's venue scouting it, and she wore this cute Velma looking wig from Scooby-Doo, and it was wet and wavy, honey. And she was getting heated because of what Joy thought about Black. And she dropped her purse on the floor. And I said, I have never seen anybody drop their purse on the floor. And I love that about her. So I say all that to say, and then when I found out, like, wait, Mambo sauce or Mambo juice or Jamba juice or whatever it's called, child.
Mambo sauce.
When I found out okay, Mambo sauce, child. When I found out they had history with Joy and Clifton, that's what this show needed. And that's why this season is great. So in the second half of the season, you're going to see them. They go on the couples trip. But there was so much going on with Ashley and Joy and Irena and Winter that the second half at the top of it, as we saw tonight, we have some other stuff to talk about first, sis, but you will see Sharella and Black. They are at the reunion, and I love the Duncans. And I didn't realize Black was tall. I thought he was 5'5".
No, he's tall.
Okay.
Oh goodness!
I have.
You tall and you handsome. I love Black.
I would say we'll get to that. Never mind.
Go ahead.
I would say the men were the best dressed at our reunion. The men really showed up.
I thought the girls, y'all look good too. No,
Winter hated most people's outfit. I just really hated one person.
Y'all are so mean.
Oh, Winter, don't you be a mean girl. Don't you be no mean girl.
Well, let the audience tell it on Twitter tonight that they want the old Winter to come back. And I said, y'all whined all first season about me being messy. So
I know I'm the guest, but I got a question for you. How do you feel, Winter, when people saying you are giving pick-me vibes, that you're up Ashley's asshole, you smell like Pepto-Bismol, you smell like wet softener, your head is
Carlos.
No, I'm repeating what the people are saying.
Yes, this is what they think.
Right, Winter. People are saying that Winter's head is so far up Ashley's ass when she comes out the room, she smells like potpourri, honey. What happened, Winter, to where people are saying you defend any and everything Ashley says? If Ashley says my stomach hurts, you will repost and say mine does too. Do you have any Alka-Seltzer?
So this is the reality. The reality is that people don't like that I will not hop on the I hate Ashley train. And I say that if I did so, it would be very hypocritical of me because everyone was on the I hate Winter train season 1. And so I understand what it's like.
Ashley was the conductor of the I hate Winter train.
So my thing is, the reality is that I'm not a hypocrite, but let's be clear. I have heard Irena go on numerous podcasts and say that we are not friends. And to that, I would agree. We're not. We're cordial. We're cool, but we do not hang out. I do not hang out with Joy. So the only person that I have honestly had serious interactions with where we've gone on vacation, we have hung out outside of the show, we have seriously gotten to know each other, is Ashley. So this is not manufactured. It is the reality of our reality. You say follow the real. Well, this is the real. I just think it's an unlikely pair because of how we started out. But Ashley and I do not always agree. I've been very clear on the times where I've disagreed with her actions. Case in point, telling Joy's business. I maintain that she shouldn't have. She'll disagree with me. That's where we don't align. It's what it is.
But we don't see that on Twitter when you repost things that Ashley says about production and Carlos King.
Absolutely.
I mean,
come on.
Because I wasn't going to go there because, you know.
We should certainly go there.
People have said that Ashley is coming for Carlos and his production. and they got beef. And I said, I love you some Ashley Silva. I'm the one after watching the first episode, and I'm promoting Huntsville. I say, I gotta watch DC. It's so good. Ashley Silva, oh my gosh, she's a star. And I'm like, what's going on here? But again, I'm just having fun. I know that, listen, let's talk about it because it's gonna be fine. I know that when it comes to my stars, right? I always tell people, you guys are like my children. And I treat you guys like my children in the sense of, I know that this is a very difficult thing to do. It's not easy to be on reality television. I couldn't see myself and my African and our two dogs being on reality television because I'm not built for it. I don't have the mental stamina for it. I don't have the stomach for it. So I know that when Ashley tweets, and I'm going to be real with Ashley. By the way, we talked about this already. But one thing that I do know about Ashley is she reminds me a lot of Nene Leakes in the sense of this is a tough gig and everybody has moments. And because Ashley only gets 45 minutes of sleep a night, I also know Ashley is up.
I am.
Ashley's up, child. So I want the world to know that this isn't a situation to where it's Ashley versus production, right? I know it's a situation where Ashley has strong feelings about what she's seeing and how she's feeling. And one thing I've said to Ashley, I said to all my girls, is I'm never going to tell you how you should feel, but what I can offer you is sometimes your perception may not be right because that's not what it is. And I just wanted the world to know that. But yeah,
And let's
that's what I had to
be real about production and our production team. I love them. They love me. I'm not, I know people shouldn't have favorites, but they do.
Yes, they do.
Not favorites, Lord Jesus, honey.
We all do. We all have our favorites.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
for me, what is hard is every episode it's Ashley's going at it with this person. Ashley's going at it with this person. Ashley's going at it with this person. It's like nobody else is doing this. Well, Ashley is always going to speak up and say what the fuck other people aren't going to say. And I think that when you talk about showing up for work, what a lot of our viewers don't realize that our lives don't start and stop once the cameras are rolling.
Correct.
Things happen off camera the same way they happen on camera. A lot of people are much more vocal off camera. I am the same way on camera and off camera. So if we have castmates that are doing XYZ off camera and I'm, it's time to film and I didn't say that on camera. I didn't say that. No, you didn't say it on camera. So I'm going to address what you said off camera, on camera too. And sometimes it does not make sense for the audience because they don't get to see what happens off camera. So I feel like I get, kind of a bad rep for being angry or whatever. And I'm like, no, these people talk shit too. They just don't want you to think that they talk shit.
And so can I interject? That is largely like a huge issue. I feel like that continues to kind of control the narrative of why Ashley and I are friends. People will say, well, Winter, you talked mess about, these people season 1. Well, let's be clear, just because it wasn't shown, don't think for a second that mess wasn't talked about me and to me. It very much will happen. It just may not have made the cut. So there's reasons behind everything, but the audience, unfortunately, doesn't get a full view outside of the 42 minutes they may see on Saturday nights. So unfortunately, we are fighting what they see and what they don't see at the same time. So I think
absolutely. And that's the reason why I even have my YouTube channel and I make sure you guys have a voice at least once a week. And then we have a reunion because I know that you guys want to get your voice out there. What I will say is this, and this is just my advice that I always tell my stars, and I said this to you too already. This is a tough ass job. I go up for reality stars. I go up for them because I know that you guys get a bad rap due to the 42 minutes that are shown. We don't have the luxury, excuse me, of showing everything, but we do our best to try to show things that we feel like make sense. And do we get it right all the time? Absolutely not. Right? We don't. We're all human in this makeup of a production. But I think fundamentally, I always think about the intention, and the intention to me is always to show each of you as balanced as we can. And that's why when it came to Ashley and her mom, I fought so hard for that to be shown. Even tonight's episode with the sleep apnea and stuff like that. And Winter, we'll get into the situation that's going on with you as well. It's important for me to show that, look, the reason why you're on TV is because you have this big personality that is meant to be on television. I said this before. You two are people, in my opinion, who was born to be on reality television because it's effortless. It doesn't take a lot of effort to do it. And that's the reason why I think this show is a comedy show, because you guys are so funny. But I also know that you have the eyeballs on you. But I always tell you girls, you won't be able to please everybody. And the one thing about, I'm gonna say it, the one thing about Nene, Teresa, Jocelyn, honey, you know, the icons to me is it came to a point where they were like, you know what? You're either gonna love me or hate me. Both days I get paid, and I'm gonna keep it pushing.
And I think that is where I'm getting to. You know,
Yes.
Quick is always like, why are you fussing with these people on Instagram or Twitter? If they don't like you, you telling them ain't gonna make them like you. You could go out and cure cancer, child, and they still go and be like, she did it in a mean way. She fussed at the phlebotomist, child. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they're not gonna like you. So I'm trying to learn that it is a learning curve. It's not as easy as the audience thinks it is. I tell people all the time, I've watched reality TV since what I call the inception real world days. And, you know, I think just the difference is I never went to Tammy's page and be like, oh my God, I hate you. I wish you die, you mean bitch. No, I've laughed like, Tammy crazy, and keep it moving. Like, that's what I would do. And we are in a different time of when, even when Housewives first started, you know, those were the early 2000s. Social media was not like it is now, where people have constant access to you. That is really difficult as well for someone to be telling you about yourself at 3:00 in the morning. It's like, I know I'm not asleep, but are you up dreaming about me? Apparently, yes, you are.
Well, I know I dream about this cast all the time, but tonight's episode was so good. Should we start with
where should we start?
I can't wait to get into it.
This is the aggressive Ashley and the Winter show. So I'm a guest. Go ahead.
And they said I was just a friend. Okay. So let's get into this show, because I was not a part of this episode, and I'm glad, because, you know, nothing could be blamed on me. So where does this start off? This show starts off with
Jamie and Morena arguing about Joy and Clifton being in a throuple.
Carlos, did you feel like Irena was just being a good friend, or being in business that had nothing to do with her?
Inserting herself.
No, see, this is the thing. I think Irena was being a good friend because, in my opinion, okay, listen, I've been in a relationship for almost 20 years. And I don't care if my African had a female friend or a male friend. I would feel a little like, if I felt that if me and my African met on a game show. I'm teasing. That's funny. That was funny. That was funny. Okay. Yeah. I'm with Irena because I too, like I said, Irena's been with Jamie for over 20 years. And when you've been with someone that long, you sort of look at other couples' dynamics saying like, that's kind of interesting. And I think Irena, being old school, to me was definitely looking out for Joy, which is why in tonight's episode, when she said, I like Carmen. Carmen's cool. Carmen did nothing to me. I'm just telling you, it looks weird. I thought Irena was coming from a good place. Did y'all think that, or do you think she was being nosy?
Well,
And be honest.
No, I think we all felt some type of way. We'll look at Carmen and Clifton's posts and being like side-eyed. I think a disservice for the show is there was not a real timeline broken down about their relationship, that Joy was gone for 9 months of their 1-year relationship and that he was always with Carmen. So people didn't really know like if him and Joy were really together or not. I hadn't met them yet. So I didn't know this. And then when I did meet Joy, I had asked her the same thing. I was like, well, why is she always around y'all? I'm confused. Why is she always hanging around with Clifton? So I had asked her the same thing before the show had even started. I was like, it's weird. And she's like, oh, this is his best friend, something. And I even told her, like, whoa, stop. I also have another best friend. Both of my best friends I met at the same time in high school, 25 years. I have a guy best friend. Him and his wife will be here tomorrow. And I will take a picture with him and post it that he's my best friend.
But we won't think that y'all are a throuple. So
I don't know, because obviously Alicia and I have finger tattoos. That means we finger.
Have you and Alicia ever fingered each other?
This is the only finger we give each other. This is what my tattoo is on.
Oh my gosh.
That's the only question that people, when she made that comment.
Nobody had that question, Carl. And nobody had that question, Carlos. Everybody saw how much of a reach it was. Ashley has nothing to do with this conversation, but we're on your mind. And child, you're trying to deflect off of y'all fake ass friendship. So
that's
what I saw.
I do believe that Irena was trying to be a good friend. I'm of the belief that if Joy is not bothered, I'm not going to be bothered. But I do feel like Irena was saying, hey, girl, this is how this looks in the public. You might need to say something. But I personally feel that if I'm in a relationship, I'm going to put that responsibility on my man, not another woman, because Clifton is the one that took vows. So for me, it's his responsibility to put Carmen in her proper place. I don't think that Joy should have to do that because, like I said, apparently he's her best friend. So moving onward, we also see that Irena and Jamie kind of get into a little tiff because Irena says that he's bringing up old stuff. What did you think of that exchange? And did we ever get into said old stuff?
See, so going back to the earlier parts of this conversation, when y'all said, there's certain things that may be off limits or people don't go into details about. What we learned season 1 was the fact that, oh, look, we have Winter here to explain herself. So Winter, you had receipts taped under your Little Red Riding Hood dress of certain things that had to do with people. And one thing we learned, you said what?
I said, Winter still be having receipts, child.
Be ye also ready.
Okay. She had receipts while we were filming, but nobody wanted to talk about that.
Oh, Raindrop, this is when something's new to me and I'm gagging. Okay. So Irena and Jamie have been very, very transparent about Jamie being upset that Irena was Facebooking or emailing a guy and he caught wind of it and he read the details of it and he was pissed. Irena denied that anything went further than those conversations, right? What we learned tonight is Irena said that there were things that happened in the past with Jamie that she wasn't comfortable with. One thing we did learn, I think, at this season 1 reunion was him falling asleep at a red light, and that's why he didn't answer his phone. So the thing with the Tylers is, and we addressed this at this upcoming reunion. There seems to be this cloud of uncertainty of what happened in the past, right? And I think it appears to all of us there has to be something deeper because the moment it gets brought up, they immediately go at it. Mm-hmm. Like it's instant, as if it happened yesterday.
Oh, and one thing I know, fresh and new, and something was going on right now. Well, then that was the energy that it was giving. And one thing I know about men is the fact that
a man can't take when their girlfriend, fiance, or wife may do anything that they deem inappropriate. They
Yeah.
can't get over it, but they
Yeah.
expect the woman to.
Oh yeah.
So I saw that like,
And that's
oh,
not Jamie isolated. That's men in general.
oh no, that's men in general. Men can't take that. So that's why I'm so intrigued by that dynamic. And I personally feel like there's something deeper that may not be talking about.
Well, you said it. Because I'm going to get blamed for this too, I'm sure.
Get blamed. What happened?
No, I mean, I'm saying you said it. You feel like that there's something deeper, probably something more relevant to times now.
I didn't say relevant to times, Ashley. I said
I said that part, maybe.
Lord.
Winter, you have
See,
anything
see,
about that?
Winter? You know, us Libras, we're quick.
We are.
said there seems to be something deeper because the moment they break it up, they go from 0 to 100. And poor mama, she trying to get her grocery bags and her stuff out the store, child. They argue at it.
Maybe her and Miss You are in the middle of mess and they don't even realize what is going on. That lizard just wanted to eat. And yeah, so I'm curious to see if we dig any further into that and we move on to Ashley and Quick.
Let's get to Ashley and Quick, and thank you for the 1,000 people that are in this chat right now. Continue.
So we get into Ashley and Quick, and they are discussing the breakdown of her friendship with Joy. And this Wizards game is coming up. And Quick asks her if she's okay with him inviting the Petties. Now, it's been said that we as cast, we have to show up. Yes. At any point, was there a discussion of yay or nay, or was this always the plan? Do you feel like, I don't know, I guess just kind of reflecting back to the whole situation.
Yeah.
Would that have been reworked any differently?
Yeah, so I think the question you're trying to ask, Winter, is did production have anything to do with Joy and Clifton going to the Wizards game? And the answer is yes.
Thank you.
So this is how it works, right? This is an ensemble cast, and we only have a short amount of months to shoot a full season. And one thing that I don't want to happen on my show that is happening on Potomac is a cast of people who aren't around each other. It does a disservice to the show. The audience dislikes it a lot. And again, I'm a fan of Potomac. That's an example that I'm using because that cast is so disjointed. People don't like this season, I Am People, because I don't want to watch a whole season where Candace and Giselle don't speak to each other. Giselle goes to Wendy's event, hey Tisha, and Giselle doesn't speak to the host, Wendy. It's like, why are we watching this show? So one thing we try to do on the shows that I produce is we try to make sure that you guys are together as much as possible. So the reason why Joy and Clifton were at the Wizards game tonight is because production did step in and say, hey, you have this Wizards suite, which is a huge deal. And that is Black excellence. And that is, you said what?
That's our lives. We just had another, like, it's what we do. But go ahead. I mean, because people like to say,
I'm
just to piggyback on things I've saw the audience say. They're like, oh, Ashley acts like, you know, her husband's this big DJ and like he's just a DJ, honey. He is the DJ. Listen, not just a DJ, okay?
Quicksilver is a big deal. And again, the reason why I wanted my second installment of the franchise to be DC is because I wanted to show, because DC, Maryland, whatever, is the richest state amongst Black people. And I wanted to.
And us and the Tylers, we live in the richest Black county in America.
Yeah. So DC is known for Black wealth. So when I got the phone call from my team that, yo, the Silvers got this suite with the Wizards, I'm like, me being very honest, because I don't lie, I said, now that's some shit that the white girls on 90210 Beverly Hills Housewives do, right? When Adrian Malouf was on the show. So I was like, I've never had
Well,
my
we ain't no Maloofs now, because child.
well, you know what I mean. No. She owns
Malouf
it. She owns the team.
owning it, right?
She owns the team. But what I'm saying is it was that level of affluence that I really want my audience to witness, like real Black excellence, right?
Mhm.
So we had this opportunity at the Wizards game, and I'm like, that should be an all cast. And my team said, well, Joy Ashley on the same page. So one thing I always do to my cast and my team is, okay, but is it that deep? Like, is it that deep? Meaning, like, is it so deep where they can't be in the same room? And the consensus was, well, it ain't that deep. They could be in the same room, but hindsight is 2020, right? And again, we talk about this at the upcoming reunion. Hindsight is 2020. And one thing that could have happened is a separate conversation between Ashley and Joy, solo, nobody around, where maybe those two ladies could have addressed it, and then maybe a Wizards game could have happened. So that's something that, yes, Winter, when you watch things unfold, you sometimes think like, would it have been different? Who knows? Mm-hmm. But the goal with my shows is, I don't like a show where my cast are in separate situations or in the same room and they don't speak for the whole season. That's a problem.
Okay, so I want to interject a little bit because I get all the brunt of the blame for this, me versus Joy thing. Ashley, you told her business and you want her to accept your apology. My 30 apologies that weren't sincere enough. And then I think on tonight's episode, she told me again, you didn't apologize enough. And I'm just like, okay, I really didn't know. I don't know another way to apologize. But 90% of the audience tend to forget that Joy came from me first in her scene with Clifton and Carmen talking shit about me and Alicia again, that we were fake and phony and that Alicia had to be messy because she's Ashley's best friend. That is what led me to be like, well, girl, if that's how you feel, your gift is, ask and you shall receive. And everyone seems to forget that. And I explained at reunion why that bothered me, because on the show, it was not presented as if Joy and I knew each other prior to the show filming. We did. We hung out. I went to her event. She came over, things like that. So if I feel like I have been in such the supportive role of you, and now you're like, well, they fake and phony and messy, it's like, all right, well, I don't owe you nothing. When Alicia asked me, were they married? Could I said, ask Joy? Yeah. Like you said, in hindsight, I could have been like, child, you should ask her. But again, I signed up for reality TV to do what I would do in everyday normal life. And if me and Alicia were just sitting here on this floor and she asked me, I would have told her, yes, they are married. The same way I see television.
Yeah. And that was the beauty of, I mean, look, the beauty of it was the fact that it really happened. And in real life, if I'm with my best friend and my best friend asks me something, I'm not gonna lie to my best friend. And yes, like you said, should you have said this? Sure. But I definitely think that's why I appreciated the honesty that came out on camera. Like, look, I said it. I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad. And yikes. You know what I mean? So I don't think people do that in normal life. People sit on these computers and phones or whatever and type. When you literally sit and talk shit about someone all the time. Alicia just sent me a meme of a girl swinging on a door saying, I'm on my way to tell my besties something I shouldn't tell them. It had 200,000 likes. Obviously, some people fucking agree that they also do the fucking same shit. And people, what I didn't like is that people made it seem like I ran to Alicia like, oh, girl, let me tell you who is married. Like, that's not how it went down. But fast forward to the game. On camera, I hadn't saw Joy since, the Christmas party. The last thing Joy said when she left the house is,
We enemies, bitch. Okay, I don't want my enemies at a basketball game with me. In all honesty and in totality, I asked for Sherella and Black to be there, and I asked for Winter to be there. I did not want them there. I would have much rather have had a one-on-one conversation with Joy outside of the group, because now this is a Ashley and Joy situation, which I didn't feel like needed the Tyler's or even Quick and Clifton. They didn't need to be a part of it. Joy and I and Clifton had saw each other on the break. I've told y'all, he looked at me like he wanted to, meet me at 3:00 after school both times. So it's like, no, I don't want these people there. I don't want to hang out with them. They don't like me. I'm feeling the same kind of way. Y'all don't forgive me. Y'all don't want to move on. Like, it ain't nothing else I can do about this situation. So I did not want them at the game. I was very adamant about that. And what y'all saw was a deprived, tired girl. And I was just like, at the end of the day, I was like, whatever, Quick, invite who you want. Like,
yeah. And that is the truth. And that's not, again, I keep it real. That is 100% how it happened.
But no one was trying to ice Joy out, which is a new word that people have learned in the reality TV lane about icing people out. And I've seen that a lot. No one was ever trying to ice Joy out, because I did not have a problem filming with Joy. I just felt like Joy and I needed to settle our thing, not at my house on Christmas, not at a basketball game.
Oh, and by the way, I want to address this. We did not force Joy to go to your Christmas party. Mm-hmm. Just so the world knows, we did ask her if she wanted to go. She did tell us no. We found out she was going through Irena. Irena said, Joy's coming to the party, y'all. Be like, what? I got a phone call from my team. Joy's coming. I said, what's this, child?
Because that's God. That's God. His light.
Not God.
His light. Shine your light on me. Y'all remember Amen?
Well, because there's been a lot of discussion about that scene, and a lot of fans had came at us and said, even some of our other cast members, and they said, why Joy was there. She had to be there. Production made her be there. And I said, that is not true. Carlos, you can back me up on this. First season, I was asked time and time again to film with Kevin, and I declined clear up until our cast trip. And I agreed under the circumstances that there be security, because I didn't trust her.
Yeah, no. For the record, we did ask Joy if she would go. Mm-hmm. Joy told us no. We found out Joy was coming because she told Irena she was coming. Exactly. Now, look, with that being said, did Joy go because she listened to producers? Maybe. I don't know. We talk about it at the reunion, but we didn't force Joy to go. Joy really did go, in my opinion, and I don't want to spoil the upcoming reunion, but Irena and Joy are friends, and Irena wanted to see the girls talk. So
why was Irena so surprised? Is that Joy? Is that Joy? And then told me she didn't know she was coming. So again, I found this out after the party that Irena did know that Joy was coming, and all of that. Is that Joy? Oh my God, the fake in front and pretending. So on camera, when y'all see all this, Ashley's feeling like you picked a side. Yes, Ashley absolutely feels like you picked a side, because there's no way in hell two people that I feel cool with, show, no show. If someone is coming to your house and I know that y'all are not on the best of terms, for me to tell you, hey, they're not coming to your house. They told me my kids are acting a fool. They are not coming to your house. Bye, y'all. Y'all want to say hi to Carlos? Apparently.
Where's Ashton?
Right here.
Hi, Ashton. I love you. Hi, Fashion Ashton. I'm your favorite producer, Brent's boss. Hi.
Yes, this is Brent and Alvin's boss. Y'all, seriously, bye. Okay, but can y'all get out? Oh my God, these kids. But yeah, so that was what I was more upset with afterwards with Irena, is because you did know this person was coming to my house. You know this person is not really feeling me. You knew this person was not texting me back. You knew this person saw me at another event the day before and did not speak, that all of us were at. So yes, I do feel some type of way. And I feel like now you are playing a game with me at my house. And that was not okay for me. I would have never done that to Arena. I would have never done that to Jamie or Raina and had someone come into their house who I knew was purposely ignoring them. No matter who was right or wrong, this is your house.
Can I say something about the Tylers and the Silvas? I am people. And Winter, you can agree too.
We'll see. We'll see if it's agreeable.
I really, really, really loved the friendship between y'all.
Oh, I thought I did too, but I found out that, you know, it wasn't such a big deal for them. It was a big deal for me when I have you at my kid's birthday dinner with.
I think it was a big deal for all parties involved. Look, what I know is this. It's challenging when you're dealing with the show, the personal issues and all this other stuff, and sometimes things get into a weird place. Again, we'll watch the rest of the season. I just wanted to say on the record, I and the audience, we desperately want to see a reconciliation, because my favorite scene of the season, one of my favorite scenes, is when you gave her the D, because I thought that was so, and that's the reason why I really do love this show. And this show, I keep saying, is a comedy show, because it takes a personality to even think about, like, I made this big deal about we're friends, the D is silent, and then at a Christmas Eve party, you gift her with the D. And then things happen, whatever. But we do miss it. We do love it. And look, the beauty of that is this, and I will say this to the two of y'all. It goes to show you that as much as we all love drama and mess, people really do love real friendships. And we don't know what the future holds, but I will say that we really did love that dynamic, right?
Yeah, I getting what's her?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
You know, Erica Bumper said stay friends.
So we've said, people got on me very much because I kept talking about I wasn't friends with these people in season 1, because we weren't friends. Arena, Quick, Jamie, all of us knew each other in a social setting. Jamie having parties, Quick DJing. That's how we knew each other. In passing, social media, that was it. But through filming and then after filming season 1, I thought we really had built like this friendship. Like I said, Jamie and Arena were over here for Easter and Smooth's birthday and all these things that weren't filmed. And Arena and Ashton loved each other, like all of these things. So I really was looking at them like, we were having a time. Even on last episode, when Quick and Little Jamie, when we go speak to them, and Arena's like, I don't want the Silvas and Tylers beefing. And I was like, I ain't never beefing with y'all. I was like, the only person I'm beefing with ever is Jamie. And that was a joke, because at the time I felt like we had developed like this sisterly brother bickering, and then we moved on. Now I do feel like some things have like just transpired off camera that have been extremely below the belt. That's just how I feel. And, I'm not too sure if I want to move forward with that, because it's not something I would have done to them. When they felt like their child was slighted, immediately I contacted them, reached out, because I did love, them. I did care for little Jamie. But I just feel like there are things that the audience sometimes does not get to see. And I just things were below the belt for me. But according to interviews, we weren't that cool and all of these things.
So I will say I have tried to largely stay neutral. I know people do not agree, but honestly, I'm on the side where I've come out of the doghouse and I'm getting to honestly know everyone. I can see all sides of this. If you had told me that Arena and Ashley would be where they are now, I would not have believed you, because I believe from what I've observed on camera and off camera, they really were good friends. They loved each other. Their families were intermixing. I would not say that this was some fake for TV friendship. Seriously. So I am sad to see where it is right now. it's not in a good place. It hasn't been in a good place for months. I would honestly say the reunion was probably where things really, really, really took a turn for the worse and went downhill. My issue, I feel, all the way around is that we haven't had an opportunity to really kind of sit down, put egos aside, and hash things out. But I feel like so many things have been said and done. And I'm going to be honest, on the outside looking in, if I saw some of the things that were being said and done about me, like for instance, I thought Arena and I were cool. She went on an interview recently and said, you know, Winter and I will never be friends. And I'm like, well, what the heck happened? I haven't really talked to them. I could be honest and say I don't really hang out, but I've done my best to support everyone, be mutually supportive when everyone's had events. But essentially, it came down to what I said about Joy clocking in outside of confessionals. And that's when I said Joy didn't clock in outside of confessionals. And that's when all of a sudden we had an issue. So
wait, Arena has an issue with you because you said Joy doesn't clock in?
Correct. That's when we had it. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? I literally gave my honest opinion. I wasn't saying that to take a dig. I felt like Joy had a tendency, and I filmed with Joy. I've seen Joy, in and outside of scene. I do feel like in confessional, she has a lot of heat, but I've also seen her in scene not say a word when people have confronted her about things that she said. So I'm saying, don't be a confessional gangster, girl. Go ahead and clock in these scenes so we can get some real banter back and forth. That was all I was saying. I'm trying to get some tips because I'm telling you, I've been there. I have had to own what I've said in confessional and stand up to it in person. So I feel like if you're going to be bold enough to throw the rock, be willing to stand 10 toes down on that rock. That's it. Moving onward. That it's shade. It's fun shade, but I really wasn't being shady. I really was being honest. That's my honest.
I think that's shady if you're trying to.
I'm trying to say I'm not being shady. I'm shady.
Here goes some tips, Winter, baby, because Winter's giving tips on how this is how to be a great reality star. Here you go, some tips, baby. Winter said,
but again, let's not make it a fake issue.
Winter is telling the girls, you may want to watch season 1 and how me and my shaved head came in and made things happen, and I was an afterthought. And I came in as an afterthought and then was thoughtful, honey. Okay, Winter, I see you.
I'm just saying, that's all I was saying. And then all of a sudden, magically, now Arena and I have an issue. So I'm like, I can't give that any energy. I only want to give energy where energy is deserved. If we really have an issue, then let's go. But I'm not going to make up an energy over me saying that.
Who is the peacemaker of this show now? I thought it was you.
So I thought I was too, Carlos, but it's looking like, nope, I'm not. My thing is, I'm going to mind the business that pays me. I'm not going to imaginary become Ashley's guard dog and make up issues with the Tylers because they got problems. To me, that is actually ridiculous and fake. I'm also not going to make up issues with the Tylers. Make up issues with Joy and Clifton because them and Carmen are not. Because I'm cool with Carmen. I've known Carmen for years. Carmen and I actually live in the same county, which actually happens to be the richest county in America, if we just want to throw that out there.
Let's pull it up because Loudoun is.
Yes,
I'm sorry. PG is for Black people.
Yes, but Loudoun is actually the richest county in the U.S.
For the white people, but not for the Black.
Doesn't matter. We live there. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I wasn't going to choose sides. I told Carmen to Carmen's face that I felt like what she did in relation to Joy in some instances, I didn't agree with. I literally did not agree with it. If I was Joy, I would have checked her. That's my honest opinion. Likewise, if I have an issue with Joy, I can go to Joy. I don't know them well enough to have an issue. I'm not going to make it up on the account of Carmen. All I'm saying is I've tried to be neutral in the middle because I really don't have an issue with people for the first time. I had all my issues season 1. Not to say there won't be issues in the future. I don't know. But I'm saying right now, I don't have any. And I'm not going to make it up. And I'm not going to pretend on behalf of this new friendship that I have with Ashley, we legitimately are cool. I don't know what y'all want from us. We're not beefing.
And another rumor to debunk is people are like, oh, well, Ashley and Winter are only friends because Ashley is no longer friends with Irena. So some more tea after a Romancipation, because even when Romancipation came, I was like, I'm not really feeling it. I'm not really trying to go to this event. Like, but we went, we hugged, we made up. Yes. So when the new year rolled around, I was like, you know what? Because I'm not trying to ice anyone out. I was like, we had 12 more weeks of filming to do. Let's try to get to know this girl off camera and see what we can do. So we had a girls' night at my house. It was Alicia, me, Winter, Sharella, Caressa, my neighbor, and Irena was supposed to be here. Irena decided she didn't want to be a part of it. I can't help that. So from then, me and Winter had a very long, deep conversation on the steps in my house, in the basement, after a few drinks, and it's emotional.
Oh, really? With no cameras?
No, it wasn't no cameras. Y'all wasn't filming us at this time. I think we were on break. I think we were still on a holiday break. And Winter and I became cool from that. Even Winter and Alicia have their own relationship where they talk to each other outside of me. But I wanted Irena to be a part of that. She decided she didn't want to be. So it's not because me and Irena are not friends. Irena felt however she felt about Winter, and that was fine. And Irena and I still had our relationship. So it was not like, one person is friends with this person because of the other person. Wait, I want to read. Jamie said you don't have anyone to film with, but don't have a choice but to be friends. Jamie, what are you talking about? Number one, we're not filming. I don't know what Jamie's talking about. Again, I can film with whoever I want to film with. They don't got a choice if they can't film with me.
Oh
Lord. Moving on.
Lord,
things happening off camera like that. Like, hey, we're not even filming, so like we don't even know what the future holds for Love and Marriage DC. It's another season, and I am down to, as I think we can all see, I am down to have a discussion with anyone about anything at any time. It's just that the selective amnesia that has happened with this cast has been bothersome to me.
So I guess we can move further into the show. We can talk about it briefly. So we bring good old Terry back. Does she have a standard recurring role?
Terry is not a psychic. She's an intuitive. She is not a therapist. I am confused about why Terry is there to talk about the Petty's throuple. Leave the people alone. Child, they want to be in a couple. Let them be. If they not, they not.
No.
I just be so confused about why Terry she reappears magically. Like I dream of Jeannie, but nobody dreamed her up. So I'm just curious.
No, okay. As you saw, Irena and Jamie were talking about their past issues at the crux of speaking of the throuple myth, right? So we followed them speaking to the intuitive healer about their past issues. The throuple was brought up, but y'all are so messy. They did not meet with Terry to speak about the Petties and Carmen. Sillies. It was about them discussing.
I got my blessed oil, honey. I don't play that.
It was about them discussing how to move past their past situation. Terry's dope. So the thing about it is, and y'all tell me if I got this wrong.
I like Terry because I feel like I'm an intuitive, but she's an intuitive. She's not a therapist.
Right. So
she's really good with telling you, like and she was on in first season, and I think she really did hit a bunch of things, a nail on the head before Monique and Chris were, divorced. she was kind of saying how, Chris really loved Monique, and I saw that, and how he really wanted this marriage to work. I saw that with Quick. She talked a lot about him being guarded because, of him losing his parents. She talked a lot about, we all heard what she said about the Tylers. So, like, I think she is very intuitive with telling you things about your past that can help you understand yourself moving forward, but she's not a therapist.
No, she's not a therapist, but I think it was that. I think she was trying to talk to them about that past situation to really see why it happened to move forward. Yeah. That was what I saw happening. But I like Terry. I would go see Terry.
I like Terry too. I like the Salt Cave child. And Terry and Terry told me, the same thing you told me, Carlos. She just sees stars all around me.
She said that to you?
She did.
Like, how do you handle this girl? She's so bad.
So, so Carlos, you don't, we see you while we're filming sometimes, reunion, things like that. But Winter, you have gotten to know me on a better basis. And we've talked about this a little before in our lives. Do you feel like I'm a mean girl?
Not anymore.
Am I the same way to you as I was before? Do I still talk shit and say the same things?
You do. We just have a better understanding. I honestly, Ashley tells me that I'm actually the mean girl, which I do disagree with. I'm just blunt.
So I always tell Winter, people always like to say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I'm always going to say it a little effed up.
Yes, you are.
No, I don't think any of my cast are mean girls. I don't think any of y'all are mean girls. Mean girls to me.
Nobody on our cast thinks that either.
I don't think y'all are mean girls. Mean girls to me are some of the girls on Baddies. You know what I'm saying? On Zeus. Like, those are mean girls who are like trying to like really get a rise out of you to fight you. Y'all aren't that. The reason why I love this show so much is because y'all are all type A personalities and y'all all stand on business. And obviously, Ashley's personality is the biggest, but I don't think that constitutes as a mean girl. I think all of you guys are strong. I think all of you guys bring it. I think all of you girls have it. And that's the reason why there isn't a mean girl on this show. And trust me, I've worked with some mean girls who are mean to production. Mean. So just so y'all know, mean girls on reality television, they're mean to producers. And I will say, not one person on Love and Marriage DC is a mean girl. They're not mean to producers. They may get into it because we all get into it, child. Yeah. But they're not mean to production. And that's how you can test to see if they're in real life a mean girl.
I will honestly say, I do not believe that I have not witnessed anyone, especially this season, be mean to anyone. There are some things that I didn't like that happened. We'll get to that as we move forward into the season because I don't want to spoil it. Let me just hop on Terry just for one good second. Terry gave me that good old, he's a good man, Savannah line. And I promise you, I can't wait to come back to that because... So I don't know that I have a ton of faith in Terry and what she sees, but to each his own.
Woo, okay, go ahead.
What else happened in the episode, Winner?
Say it again.
What else happened on tonight's episode?
Okay, so we move past the Tylers, and then we get to this Wizards game, child. I was actually at a bar. I asked the bartender to bring me another drink because I needed something to get me through it because I just didn't know what was about to happen. So
I didn't even have a drink. I was down there watching it with Quick because he left. He left once me and Joy went outside. He went down to the floor. So he didn't really know what happened, with the conversation with Joy and I, or what happened once I got back into the suite.
I agree with that. No, listen. The Wizards game, I may be the minority with this, and that's fine, okay? Because I don't choose to be amongst the popular opinion. I stay how I feel. I saw the Wizards game, and unpopular opinion, I laughed the entire time. I thought it was funny. I wasn't scared or like shook or like, you know what I mean? Like, I thought it was funny because it was so real. And if people want to have a real conversation, have it. We've all been in situations with people where you're amongst friends or a group of people who may not like each other or get along in the moment. And they have their conversation. And for me, I thought the whole thing was funny. I didn't think it was dark. I didn't think it was anything outside of like, these are grown people having a conversation. Even the fact that Jamie was like, no, y'all gotta talk about it. You know, like it's, to me, I thought it was funny. Ashley and her eyelashes, honey, and her ponytail. And then Joy's like, you want to step it outside? Like, all that to me is funny. And obviously, I don't want to give away the second part. But the second part, I mean, it is insane because it goes to show you what happens when you get strong personalities in the same room. And that's the thing that I want to teach the reality viewers. Y'all overuse the word mean and y'all overuse the word bully.
Like, oh my God, the bully word, please. And that I want to say, that's, no one is weak on this show. No one. I don't think on this show. So please stop with the bullying, the mean. What you mean to say is Ashley's comebacks just hit a little harder than theirs, and they do.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't. Yeah. Some viewers overuse the word mean and bully. None of those things are the case. These are strong personalities, and that's what makes for a great show. And the one thing that I want to teach the viewers is, y'all said the show was boring season 1. Y'all, this is so boring.
Right. When we say talk about we love each other and we let's be friends, and well, that's boring. Now it's like, well, yeah. I don't want to be your friend. It's like, oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
Y'all said the show was boring. Y'all said they're not activated. Y'all said they weren't clocked in. Y'all said all they do is talk about whatever that y'all said. I forgot. That was 2 years ago. But my point in saying is, this is truly an all-star cast. They're all strong and they all have a voice and they all have an opinion. Whether or not they say their opinions in different ways, they all have opinions. And nobody on this cast is weak. Nobody on this cast feels bullied. Nobody on this cast feels like they're being in a situation to where they're constantly, having their back up against the wall. This is a show to where it's showing y'all what happens when conversations occur and disagreements occur. These aren't wallflowers. These are people who are like, no, I feel this way and I'm going to express myself. And what you're going to see for the rest of the season are people trying to get past that. And I don't want to give anything away, but there's tons of light moments. There's tons of fun. They go on a couple's trip. Something happens to Winter Child in the snow. And you get to see all of that. And then Carmen comes in, honey, and Sharella, and it's a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, y'all wanted a great show. These people are giving y'all a great show by being themselves. And we got to stop with this mean and bully. It's overused and it's tired.
It's overused. It's tired. And, and Carlos, I've had a conversation with you. Winter, I've had a conversation with you those words have gotten to me because I'm like, I'm not walking up on nobody like, give me your lunch money right now or I'm going to punch you in your face. Like, that's how y'all make me feel like I'm doing to these grown ass people on our show. No, we all say stuff.
All of us.
All of us say things about each other. Some of us say it more direct. Some of us say it in confessionals. Some of us say it to you. So I feel like if I was sitting in confessionals just talking about people, it will be okay. And that's not me. That I'm never going to be that person. I'm always going to be direct as possible. I'm like, somebody sent us a message today talking about people on Instagram talking about I should get punched in my face. Nice try. Please try it.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things that happened. Y'all make black people look bad. It's so again, I just have to say that because it's such a great effing season. And it's funny because as I watch all the episodes in real time because I like to watch it with the audience.
Mm.
And every episode, I always be like, "Oh my god, I forgot that happened. I forgot that happened." It's a great effing season, and the reunion.
Child.
That reunion was
I
insane.
probably have to make up new nicknames for everybody because I give everybody on this show their nicknames. I'm gonna
What's
make
my
up.
nickname, Ashley? Look, Winter.
Can you say it live?
Right, look, Winter. Here I go.
When you be messy,
Look,
when you be
tread
messy,
lightly, Ashley. You said
Look.
what?
Carlos, I ain't gonna call you a blogger.
Not a blogger.
Yes, honey. I love it.
I ain't gonna call you a blogger like some people.
Okay, honey. Hey, honey, the check's clear, honey. I'm a blogger. The
Check is clear.
I love it. But that's what I want the world to know. My main wish for all my cast, but let's focus on DC tonight, is I want you ladies to know that, listen, you are on a hit show where people have strong opinions, meaning the viewers. And you can't take any of it personally. One thing Quick said that I appreciated is he was like, look, the internet in real life. And I know what he means by that, right? What he means is people read me, they read Winter, they read Ashley, they read the Tylers, the Pettys, Carmen, the Blacks, everybody, right?
Duckins.
Oh, the Duckins. Sorry, Sharella. I love you some Black. I'll tease it. You never meet a hater. Every time you are around somebody, you meet them in the streets. It's nothing but love.
Yeah.
It's you can't focus on that. And if you focus on that, you will lose sight on this great opportunity that can really take your career into another destination. And the one thing that I love about you guys is y'all are so fun to work with. I have so much fun hosting the reunions with you guys. Whenever I'm in town and I get a chance to see you guys in my limited time, I purposely want to just be around y'all. Y'all are great. And I want the world to know that me, along with the production, we have so much fun with DC. It's a fun show. And listen, it's a tough show to produce because every day something happens. And every day we're like, wait, Winter and Ashley are friends, but Ashley and Arena are at odds, but then Carmen and Joy fell out. Every day something different happens. But to me, that's the beauty of reality television. And I give you guys so much credit for making this show a huge success. And I don't want you guys to ever get caught up in what other people are saying about you guys. I want you guys to experience the love. And at the end of the day, the only person's opinion that matters is mine.
And mine.
And mine.
I was about to say something.
So last but not least, so you talked about the internet not being real, and we know that that's just a way of saying not to take things so personally. Do you ever feel like we as a cast, or do you ever feel like your cast in other shows do too much on social media?
Yes, and you two do too much on social. Y'all do too much. Y'all do too much. Y'all do too much. I'm gonna tell you what y'all do.
Yes.
Well, so much happened in that scene that y'all didn't even see the full scope of it. So much happened. I'm like, these people know that we shot for hours and we only show 5 minutes. Y'all gotta remind them of a child.
Well, they act like they don't realize that.
You two, yes. Stop it. I don't want to see it no more. Because this is what happens. People feel like I'm gonna tell you what it is. People love it when y'all stand on business. When y'all like, Nene's famous quote, I said what I said. It ain't changing. That's how I felt in the moment. And I said it. Leave me alone. Good night and goodbye. So I don't want you guys to get caught up in it. But I always offer y'all grace. Because again, I tell people all the time, I don't know what it feels like to be in front of the camera, giving my entire life to it. That's a lot. And I respect that you guys are doing it. I don't know what that feels like. So that's why sometimes I'm like, I get it. Now, there's moments I'm like, now look, can I tell y'all a secret?
No, don't tell me. Don't tell it to me because I'm going to tell somebody.
It's not a secret if you tell everybody.
Okay, I'm going to tell y'all and the 1,100 people in this chat with us. There's been moments I had to delete a response to y'all too.
Sure. I'm sure because there have been moments I've written something to you and I've deleted it.
Did you? What were you gonna add me?
Carlos.
Were you gonna add me?
Oh, you know I'm gonna add you. Oh, you know I'm gonna add you. Love and Marriage DC at Carlos King, KRE Entertainment, everything. Everybody's getting it, okay? And I'm like, you know what? Delete.
Same. I be like, cause the thing is, that's why I get it. I be like, Carlos, you're professional. And I'd be like, so look, do I feel like y'all do it sometimes? Absolutely. But the reason why I hit Control Alt Delete is because I always say, give them some grace. Give them some. That's Brittany said. Ashley Burns Twitter. Right? That's Brittany.
Burns Twitter.
That's Brittany. I be like, because I'm gonna tell you one thing. Okay, Ashley, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I can't believe I'm telling you this. Okay, fine. Last season, we showed this beautiful scene with you and your mother. Like, beautiful in the sense of I'm like, I don't know if I told you this. The network even said, like, this is one of the most powerful scenes you have ever filmed. Like, all the network execs said, this may be one of the most powerful scenes you have ever filmed for the network. Because it showed so much about your backstory and who you are, right? And we all were so proud that the world get a chance to see this scene. So Ashley Brittany Silva, after that scene went to commercial, this woman gonna tweet, so much more happened. Y'all don't even see everything. I was like, oh my gosh, Ashley,
that scene.
That's all you have to say.
About that scene. Oh my God! Let me give y'all a little tidbit too. That scene aired the same week this scene filmed. It was literally like, I think it came on Saturday. The game was like a Wednesday. It was the same week. So I was dealing with a lot. My mom was not talking to me at all. Like that after that episode aired, she did not talk to me for like months. Right. Yeah, she was not happy about it, but I do still feel, I stand on it. I do feel like it was a great scene. I feel like in that scene they got the gist of what it was.
I did too, but when I saw, but again, what I say 5 minutes ago, I always have to remind myself, Carlos, you gotta offer people grace.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know what, and this is the other thing. I know there's so much more going on in your lives outside the show that, because I'm so protective of the show and because I know how people are, anything y'all say, I'm the face of the production, right? And I will always get blamed for stuff. I don't really care. It's fine. But I'm always like, okay, but I don't want people to think there's an issue or whatever. But that was the only moment that I was like,
I don't remember that. I mean, obviously there are some scenes that I'm like, okay, so that's all that happened. So they didn't say this. They didn't say okay. I clearly remember. You know, I say all the time, You can tell what I said because I'm gonna tell what I said and I'm gonna tell what you said. So,
Oh, goodness.
it don't bother me none. But yeah, I'm going to do better. Quick gets on me about Twitter all the time. He's like, just get off of Twitter. Get off of Twitter. Twitter is the land of the mean people. Now they are really mean and bullies over there on Twitter.
Oh, for real. And they at you for a reaction. And that's why I always tell people I'm not responding to the mean ones. But listen, I want y'all to stay on Twitter because I love when y'all engage with the audience. You know, I'm sad that my Huntsville cast, all of them left Twitter. All of them left Twitter.
And I understand why, though.
And I get it. Now, as the creator, does it make me sad? Yes, because I like to see my cast engage with the audience. But I understood that for Huntsville, it came a point they were like, we got to protect our mental health.
You really do.
Yes.
Yeah.
You really do. And then even when it comes to not just the audience, it could be your cast members too sometimes. So I'm going to try to stay on there a little longer. I mean, what we got 8 more weeks to go.
I don't even know, but all I can say is
we have like 11 more episodes, including the reunion.
Well, including reunion.
Yeah. And exclusively a 3-part reunion.
Oof.
I knew it was going to be 3 parts. Listen, I need
exclusive
3 intermissions for that reunion.
I needed an intermission at the times where I felt like I wasn't getting attacked. I got drugged into other people's stuff, and I was like, "How I get in this?" What's happening?
No, it's good. But yeah. I'm glad you guys invited me on your YouTube. I wanted to say this to tell y'all publicly. I'm so happy that the two of you decided to do this YouTube channel. Because you two are like yin and yang because y'all have a very
fire and
ice, right? And it's beautiful that y'all are doing this because it helps with y'all personal brand. It helps with the things y'all want to do outside of the show, and it helps promote the show. So I'm grateful that you two asked me to come on as your guest. I, of course, would say yes to anything you ladies need.
I was like, wait, you know, I told once I was like, I'm gonna ask Carlos, and I was like, I'm gonna call him out so he can't say no.
I would never say no. Listen, everybody knows Uncle Carlos is the biggest supporter of his past. So I'm happy that you two are doing this. I wanted to save it so the audience can hear it. This is beautiful. It's an honor for the show to have you two do this, and I'm very grateful and thankful that you two love the show so much too that y'all want to have your own recap. Like, this is dope. So my only advice is be consistent. Yeah, like do this consistently. Now, because y'all do it consistently, I'm like, well, damn, I gotta maybe move my Dustin talks with my cast to another night.
You might have to, child. You might have to. I like Dustin though. I like Dustin. I enjoyed the interview that I did with Dustin. He was great.
Yeah, no. So no, I'm very proud of you two for this. This is very, very good. And I wish you guys the most success on this YouTube channel endeavor.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to tell people about the remainder of the season besides that we have a 3-part?
Okay, there's a 3-part reunion. Everybody showed up, Yusha included. We'll get to that. DJ Richie Scott, who paid $20. I think this is the perfect mix. When are y'all starting filming season 3? So, Richie, I got to tell them first, and I'll tell you later. Okay, fine. So, anyways, keep watching. This season, you're going to see what happens between Yusha and Winter. You're going to see what is going on between Irena and Ashley, Joy and Ashley. Carmen comes in the mix and all of a sudden drops a bomb that none of us expected. And I think that's all I want to say. But what I will say is this, and y'all know I don't lie. I'll just be like, please keep watching. Every single episode is a 10. and this is our third episode of this current season. Every episode has been fire, and everybody is loving this show. I have not seen yet. We're bored. That's out the window. This is a great season, and I thank each and every one of you cast members on the show for being activated. And last but not least, this upcoming reunion is 3 fire ass episodes that is going to blow your wig off your scalp.
I was there, Carlos, and I'm telling you, there were moments at our reunion where I felt like I was the audience getting an inside view. My mouth was on the floor, I think, from beginning, except for the parts where I was getting in people's behind. And then I've been telling people that reunion is crazy.
The first 2 minutes, Irena and Ashley get into it. Goodbye. The first 2 minutes. I remember, I think all I said was hi, hey, because I have Ashley's on my left side and Irena's on my right. And then I'm like, hey girl. And I'm like, it's only been 2 minutes. Anyways.
Ding, ding, ding.
I remember I think I did this to y'all. We just started. What's happening here? So anyways, it's a great
off with a bang.
Yes, we do.
With a bang and not a bob. So there you go.
Well, thank you so much, Carlos, for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. And make sure you guys are watching every Saturday, Love and Marriage DC at 8 p.m. We have no filler episodes.
No, there are none. Too much.
None. There's nothing there. None.
Too much going on.
And make sure you guys are following me on all social media at Ashley Brittany.
Yes, and follow me on all social media at I'm Simply Winter.
And Carlos, which
so silly. At the Carlos King _ Love and Marriage DC is back and better than ever. Every Saturday, 8 o'clock, 7 Central. And make sure that y'all watch Winter and Ashley's YouTube channel every Saturday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, where they give their recaps. And last but not least, they had a messy ass episode last week with Carmen that I watched, and I was like, not them trying to take my job. Like, this is a messy ass interview.
I just want to let people know I too went to school for journalism. You ain't the only journalist.
Hi, Barbara Walters, Oprah Winfrey, Shannon
Sharp. Oh my goodness. We stand on our interview of Carmen because, like we said, everyone deserves the opportunity to speak.
Oh, good. So have Jamie on next week.
He's more than welcome to request an interview.
Absolutely.
Not request. You got to be the talent booker.
No, I'm the host, honey.
Yeah. we are more. He's more than welcome to come. We literally said we extended an invitation to everyone. But shameless plug, I do have a new single dropping on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for you guys to hear it.
Congratulations. Sign my papers and get that deal. Okay.
She got that divorce.
I got it. Work.
Have you seen Kevin lately?
He cannot. It's in our divorce. He cannot contact me or be within 50 feet of me.
Okay, that's it. I'm on no legal shit. Bye. I love y'all. Bye, everybody. I love you, Ashley. I love you, Winter. Thanks again.
Love you too, Carlos.